Yeah.
I think we have just remove the background of the picture. Just move your face and then background is
एक और लैपटॉप चालू करिए। You like it? Yes. Come on, guys, let's get started.
Shall we start?
Okay, I was
Good morning. I'm sorry, we could not keep our word to start at 11:30, but we have people still coming in, so this is the bye for you. Sorry. Well, good morning again. Thank you for making time to be with us online and in person. Is this working?
Yeah, you activate. You need it. There's an active.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Can
Later.
everyone online here? Gaurav, can everyone online here? Cannot hear me.
Am I audible online? Okay, great. So, welcome once again. Our co-founder Anil is here, bang on time, half an hour late. Please. That's the vibe. Well, we are Entrepreneurs Connect, and we are celebrating our 3rd anniversary. They say the test of an organization is in the first few years. So we seem to be getting somewhere. We've survived 3 years. Hopefully, we'll be there for the next many, many years. So welcome once again. I'll get down to business. A short introduction about Entrepreneurs Connect, and then we'll have our speakers. And before that, our president will also say a few words. So here we are. We are Entrepreneurs Connect. We connect We are a business referral group. We connect people, ideas, and opportunities. We are supported by rooftop sales. Would this move? Okay, so we are an online platform. We meet every Saturday morning, and we've been doing this for 3 years. Our idea is to bring people together so that we can collaborate and make things better for all our members and grow this community, make it a tribe. And we've been doing this from the 19th of September, 2020, the year COVID hit us. So today we have almost 400 members who join us regularly for the online meetings that happen from 8 o'clock to 9:30 Dubai time. And we've impacted over 3,000 entrepreneurs in our journey so far. And we have great interactions amongst us, which is why people come back. Like everything else, we are online. So we have social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Our format is usually we have a business session, we have a business challenge from time to time, we have breakout rooms, and we do education sessions like the one that you'll see today. Our values: accountability, transparency, generosity, and trust. This is our team. Alifia is our president. She's also a co-founder. I'm the other co-founder. My name is Gaurav Paul, and I'm the Vice President of Operations. Our third co-founder is Anil Thomas, who works for a small company in Dubai. I'll tell you more about it in a bit. We have Sabri Rajan, who's Vice President Marketing. We have Anupama Parker, who is Vice President for Digital Transformation and Water Transformation we have been experiencing. She is leading that. We have Bharat Nangia, who is our Vice President, and our man in Hong Kong, or Hong Kong as some people want to call it. He is Vice President for Global Growth. We also have Chaitanya Bailey, who's Vice President for Technology, and Ashish Angra, who's Vice President. Can someone mute the person? Okay, to build any organization, contributing, and in the past we have had contributions from Dr. Rajamani and the late Laurent Grandisson. Also, Harihar Sharma, who's based in Mumbai, and he is setting up something else, so he's taken a break from our leadership team. On that note, thank you once again for being here, and can I invite our President Alifia Sura to say a few words.
So thank you all for coming here, and it's a very humble moment that we have after so many speed breakers and after so many of whatever that we've actually come here, and it means everything for us. And let me ask you something: how many of you are actually in at least one networking event? Raise your hand. How many of you are in at least two? More than 5? More than 10? How many of you are in any online networking events? Okay, those who are not on Entrepreneur Connect. Those who are not on Entrepreneur Connect, how many of you are actually any one online networking event other than EC? Okay, brilliant. So during COVID, a lot of things happened. And how that pretty baby was born is something that has actually kept us going. And there was a time during COVID, how many business actually got affected during COVID? Whose business boomed during COVID? Brilliant. So there was a complaint time during COVID. Everyone was complaining. And then we were like, customers are not paying. Existing customers are not giving more business. And people who are giving business have not paid or money stopped. So in other words, there was no cash flow. On top of it, existing operation cost, your running cost of your business is already on. That's when we actually thought, why can't we create a business referral group, which does not have a lot of strings attached, which does not have a lot of limitations, a lot of like bondings, nothing, a free networking event, which can go online. But something we learned when we started. The idea was, we've heard this many times, a lot of global speakers talk about it. They say that you're more valuable outside your own country or enterprise. And this is something that we realized when Entrepreneur Connect was in the first 6 months. People started going beyond borders. How many of you already know each other? Who doesn't know a single person here? Everyone knows at least someone or the other, right? Are you all doing business from everyone else here? How many of you actually getting business from anyone here? How many of you are actually getting business from one of their connections out here? Have at least got some business from one of their connections out here. So technically, networking, when it's done right, it doesn't necessarily need to be doing business with people in the room. It's potentially doing business with the phone book of everyone that's in the book. And at Entrepreneur Connect, the only thing we're trying to do is giving people access to that phone book. Not only locally, but regionally, but globally. So we have some very regular, even our co-founders are from Hong Kong, from Malaysia, from Singapore. How many of you have actually been on Entrepreneur Connect? At least one meeting? Yeah, who's still regular? Have you got business outside of UAE? Anyone's got business outside of UAE from being on an online platform? So that's what we're potentially trying to build. We've had collaborations and so that's where we are doing. So we want to continue being online. It's very few occasions that we actually come in the room and face-to-face meeting, but technically what we're collaborating largely on is more online. We are very busy. We don't want to spend time going to places and coming back, spending time on, but here we are, and this is what we're trying to do. So I want to take this opportunity to invite you all. We meet every Saturday from 8 to 9:30. 90 minutes of your time, but potentially come on board and stop asking. It's about how we can collaborate. How many of you have at least 100 phone numbers? Everyone, the people who come on, you see on your phone numbers on your mobile, at least 1,000 phone numbers in your mobile. People are not raising their hands, they don't have 100 phone numbers in your There you go. And are you using all of them every week, all those contacts? How many is not using even 50% of your phone numbers, like stop using, right? Now that potential number could be valuable to someone else. And this is the only thing that we're bringing access to. You've done it 5 years back, you made business from that contact. I made it like in my first job, in my third job, the content that I have. Today, that contact is very valuable, top of landmark, top of whatever, but not useful. And that's the access to that phone number that we are giving to everybody else. And we always say share it in 2 ways. If you know the person, give your name as a reference. But if you don't know that person, say don't use my name. But don't stop yourself from carrying that. And that's how we're building and giving, and it's a completely free platform. And we want to encourage you all to come join us every Saturday. And let's share and learn and get one external contact before the end of the year outside of UAE, a new customer outside the UAE before the end of the year. That's what we want to encourage you all, and that's the milestone we want to have. I'm from rooftop sales, and nothing works without sales targets. And nothing starts without having a goal. So when you start with your sales target at the start of the year and then you keep tracking it, that's when it starts happening. So how many of you actually want one customer outside the UAE before the end of the year? Brilliant. Let's do it together. So welcome to Entrepreneurs Connect, and I'll give it back to Gaurav.
Thank you. Great. Thank you, Alifia, for that inspiring speech, and we intend to kind of make things bigger and better. The next item on our agenda is Mr. Okay, let me first give a brief introduction and then he'll do a more elaborate introduction. He has started his career with the McDonald's in India, set up a huge number of outlets, and he was responsible for distribution and marketing. He then came to Saudi Arabia to sell ice cream. He was with Baskin Robbins there. He was the country head. And then he moved to UAE, where he was head of Londonderry cafes. And now he's an entrepreneur for the last couple of years. And I present to you Mr. Amritpal Singh Gadhok. He is the Passion Singh. So Passion Singh, please. Yeah, please.
I hope my voice is in my, I am probably a little bit bad, but I think some slow, right? Or, because the mic is like, so I don't use mic. Thank you very much for coming in. Probably it's my honor to meet so many entrepreneurs together and probably see a lovely, probably see I have never used it. I have to make sure that whatever she said, at least 5% I can try to implement in my life, make my life a bit different. So I'm really impressed with that. I have never heard such a beautiful, see, there's a taboo with it. I'll be honest with you. Why people like me have never joined or done anything? It's because maybe it goes back to flashback to my old days when I was in 6th or 7th standard and I come to India. So everybody used to gather, they should take big auditorium and bring. And some of them, my image for networking actually got, it was very little baggage. I never had any respect until last year for any kind of networking. I'll be honest with that. Because of Amway and whoever was trying to just sales. I actually work in a shop and I was very good in sales. I could sell anything. So, but people thought I could sell anything, but I could only sell things which I like. If I don't like it, if I'm not convinced, I cannot sell it. But people think that I'm not selling it. But I think that I'm trying to sell it. But if something which I believe in, I will sell it to anybody. If I don't believe it, I can't even move anything. So that's how my personal networking never went to the good way. So last year something happened. I joined Singular. Singular is a holistic networking professional. I'm born and brought up between Marwadis and Gujaris. I never had any Sikh friend in my 35-40 years. And okay, I would say until 43 years I didn't have anything. But in last 1 year, I think I have 20-30 Sikh friends, but it was more of external planning. And in that event, what happened is they would bring a lot of speakers and they were talking with I presented, and a different energy came. And her today's speech was a election. There's the first networking speech in my I should do more. I don't know if it work or not, but perception has changed. So please say that. So a little bit of me, okay, I'm Amritpal Singh. I would love to be as short as possible content was in the past. So I have a 35, I have almost around 28-29 years of work experience. So I have sold from a leader to Natraj, Murthy. I have turned around brands which were Bakala to a lifestyle brand. I have done all my life things which people said not possible. So I was the first Sardar hired in South and West of India. I used to hate McDonald's. There is a video in the entire McDonald's thing. I hate McDonald's. The video started like this. I hate McDonald's. This video was published for all HRs who are hiring. I used to think McDonald's the most crappiest place. And it doesn't value Indian sentiment and blah, 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 blah. By fun, I went to the interview. As a part of it, there was interview section 1, interview section 2, and then there was on-job evaluation, and then the final interview. I am not cutting this because this first section will take around 1 day of interaction. How that happened, but I went to 3-day on-job evaluation, and I fell in love with McDonald's. From I hate McDonald's to everything I love McDonald's. And then for 1 month, I had to stand there ready to give me a job. And from there, I'm the only one probably say that who have got 13 promotions in 10 years in McDonald's. From a management to DGM marketing. And I'm out of many highlights, I've done many city openings, I've done last and like whatever you think of all city openings from Chennai to this, but it was like close to 100. In 2003, against all odds, against US corporation, against every town we can hire you besides the owner. And today it's $1 billion plus worth business. Today, every shareholder or even the people who were in McDonald's area, once upon told me on my page that in my state, I will never let it lost today when they just talk to when they stood at the district company dinner, they have presentation, they talk about how delivery is contributing to the world. So from a first, yes. Sorry, online. Yes, so is it clear?
I think.
See, my problem is I move a lot, so I might.
It's a very long cable, don't worry.
Sure.
It's a very long cable.
Okay. So, apologies for this. So then they from a telling on that brand website, and probably today is $1 billion business. Then I happened to land into Saudi Arabia. The only reason because when I was launching Chennai at the McDonald's, somebody refused to meet me saying that because I was handling South and West of India, I was not a national player. So they refused to meet me. His name is, he's a very senior guy as the British Supervisor. And we had done some Chennai, the launch was very successful. Today we are good friends, but we not seen each other yet. And his mind was, he had told me that he refused to meet me because I was not a country guy. I was driving one day and I get a call from, I got a call that there's a role in Saudi Arabia country in the state. I said yes. Against all odds, me being Sardar, first landing to Saudi Arabia. In my 5.5 years Saudi Arabia, I only saw 3 Sardars. I was successfully dodged this. I could open 200 stores in 5 years. We have doubled the amount of sales at 2.25 times of profit. These are the most unique numbers of data anybody has achieved on this net till today. With 2010, 2015. 200 stores, 2.25 times of profit. Then I happened to. My wish was that I want to be a CEO at the. So in one of my interviews, someone in Barcelona, they told me you will be a CEO at the age of 45. So I'm not interested. I will be CEO before I turn 40. I was lucky enough that at the age of 37, I had a CEO of London Dairy. I don't know how long you've been in Dubai for. If you have been in Dubai, anybody in Dubai. So if you are London Dairy, a very big ice cream brand. They had opened stores, but their stores are more like a bakala store, more coffee type of stores, not there. And probably anybody who wants to get into retail is job is to get the valuation, glamour, and I saw the product and I saw the setup, and I'm sure people would be knowing these owners. So I cannot connect the stores in this. So I said I have a concept turn around it. That time nobody believed that London Dairy could sell a coffee, or London Dairy could sell pizza, pasta. Today London Dairy is still. So from a small time Bakala store to a London, I was challenged to see that. You cannot change the name. So till I was there, it was for London Dairy. So now after me getting it become at least. So turning around the Bakala brand to a lifestyle and brand from a DIFC to Sheikh Zayed Road to India City to World Dairy. And this is what I've done now. And after working for 25 years, I have gone back to my college. So my actually first job was in Bombay Stock Exchange. So I was one of the guys who had seen very many people know, old people know, or I actually they should be very ready. So from a ring trading to board to online, I was lucky enough that God was very kind to me that He taught me in 1 year. So in 1994, from a ring to board to online happened, and I could learn that types of business. And then God had another destiny to go and learn consumer business and PNL and managing the show, and then back to my channel. So today now I run is my firm is called one of the firm is called Patent Sale, one firm is called Gold, which is purely for wealth management, and probably I've come back to my passion of growing there. So I'm now into equity. Okay. 25 years of working, 25 years, 20 years working with someone in last 3 years, 2.5 years working. So this is what I am there. And probably I would love to know because I was told that you want to listen from a story from someone who is been in a job to entrepreneur. So I would love to have this two-way conversation that I would love you to have. I'm not very presentation purposely, but I would love to ask. You can choose the topic whether you want to know about Saudi, what I done around. How I run the area, what can we I would love to have that conversation where you ask me a question. And if I give an answer, it will become more authentic and organic than rather I am trying to say my side. Because I have one school of thought. People say that praising yourself is good to see. It's like if you're praising yourself, it's you're committing a suicide. But whatever I said, it was a hindsight to inspire, not to publicize or glorify myself. I only did things with what I believe in, with my belief system, with the eventual goal of customer first. The rest automatically happen. But yes, I have a figure of the gift of God for me is visualization. If you can visualize it, you can achieve it. If you are not able to visualize it, I visualize how the Sheikh Zayed store should look like a thunder. Because of dead block and today, it's the most beautiful store of Sheikh Zayed Road, and because of us, the Safari have changed, the model, every town they can have changed on the Sheikh Zayed Road. I don't know if you have seen that, the big store on the Sheikh Zayed Road, the photo of this week. We put a screen on top of it. It will be 2 years to tell the Dubai municipality. I was ready to do anything to get permission without getting, and eventually it took me 2 years to get out of this. He is the chairman of Dubai municipality, and I convinced him and he signed it off. What I could achieve in Dubai is because I believe this land is very investable. You're very lucky in this land. If you believe in something and if you know the things right, you never lose. You will have ups and downs, that's not the cost of life. But if you believe it's possible, I could have not created this London company anywhere in the world. So I believe there's a magic in the city. And as an entrepreneur, I don't know how, if you are, I always believe that if you're coming to Dubai on a salary, on a payroll, your lifetime is 5 years max. If you are coming on a job, your lifetime is between 3 to 5 years. Within 5 years, if you're not going to start something of your own, you're going to just go down. Because when you come from your land to this place, you might get a sudden big jump. That jump is good enough for 2 years only. From 3rd year, the inflation cost, everything is got adjusted, your lifestyle is changed, your cost is going to the your salary is not increasing. If you don't become an entrepreneur, or you're not in a stage where you get a good profit sharing thing, your downfall is wildly more. So this is a good place for entrepreneurs. That's what I like about this city. And probably if you have anything to do with luxury, in this part of the world you cannot fail. Value you may not succeed in this part of the world. You may use this place to do business from here for other countries, but if you want to survive here, you will have to be in a luxury category only. This is my experience of 25 years of understanding different markets. Every market is different. The South is a very different market, India is a very different market, US is a very different market, UAE is a very different market.
Thanks, Abdul. We have 10 minutes for a Q&A session. So I'll start with the first question. You moved from a very successful career in India with McDonald's to Saudi Arabia. If you could just tell us how that transition was and what challenges you had.
So I tell you, the first thing was title. Because somebody refused to meet me, and obviously I'd done enough in McDonald's, and I knew there was ceiling is coming back, and as I was growth hungry, I really want to exceed faster than that. So that's my default DNA. If somebody is doing it next amount of years, because when I used to run an ice cream store in India, I'm going back to 93, 94. I was lucky enough to meet Dr. Nalini. He used to be the general manager of Hindustan. His one anecdote is still there with me for my life. He said that there was one guy, there was one big store in Andheri, in Bulur. There was the biggest numbers. He was there for already 40 years. So I said, I will also reach in 40 years. He said, no. He told me one story which I want every one of you to remember. He told me, when a transistor was made, when radio transistor, when radio was made, from its invention to popularity to 50 years. When a television was made, its invention to popularity 25 years. Computers, don't have to visit just come, or maybe not just 90s computers that come. From its invention to popularity to 10 years. And that was the year of internet. Within a year, the popularity happened. So he told me that should be the speed of growth. If you're talking about growth, this should be a speed of growth. So because of that, I came back and then I understood that if I have to come back, and so that's how my DNA is from a growth perspective. So that idea of country manager was always my head. So since I got a call for a country manager, I just walked in there. But trust me, I landed on 27th of September 2010. And 15th of October, I want to leave. I was trying, it's not my place, I got stuck. It is completely nowhere I want to be. And then there was a Dammam hotel in Sheraton in Dammam. And I was having a bath there and I was just cursing myself what I've done. Because I was remembering all my mentors in India, their faces, and I was imagining they not to go anywhere. But I said, okay, let me do something. And something happened with people. 18th October was my birthday. The team out there celebrated my birthday on Dammam Cornish. What feeling they gave me was never I have seen in my life. I'll tell you, okay, I know God, I should not say this, but I can tell you that the way people were kept there, you will not keep animals. So maybe because they are calling for me to come and turn around their life. I have made highest sales, highest profit by getting more. I either said that before I came, an average incentive of person would get is 25 dirham per person per month. In my tenure, the average incentive was 625 dirham per person per month. When I joined, there were 400 employees, and I left, there were 1400 employees. You can name in the welfare and everything is possible, and I just took care of people, then people took care of business. There was a vision and growth of mine, but through people and people. That's how I have taken this.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have a question.
I will have a mission for this.
Something making of us and made this transition from being an employee to an entrepreneur. What are some of the, somebody who wants to do the same thing? What are some of the challenges that they should be aware of? Major.
First, you should do what you love. If you don't do what you don't love, you leave faster. I'm not saying your chances of leaving is faster. But if you love, if you're married to someone, you'll not stay there to make it happen. Right? So your passion is more important. If you're ready to give everything for it, it could be losses, it could be profit, because you want to do it, right? Your goal is, see, eventually everyone wants to make money. So if the business is, why do people do business? People do, I have one thing in Japanese. Japanese will only do business if there is profit. If there is no profit, they won't do business, right? So this is by default profit. So anyone wants to do for profit. So that's profit is by default necessary for the business to survive. But what we are doing, see, we have 7 billion people on the planet. We have 7 billion unique people on the planet. And every business has its own merit. Every business is important. What you like is more important. If you're doing the business because someone else is doing, your chance of failure is much higher than someone who is not passionate. Because you have to be passionate about what you want to do. Second thing, your cash balance is required is important. Because you don't know when your business will succeed. It will take 1 year, it will take 2 years, it will take 3 years. Your cash flow needs to be in place, either very policy, but you have to find your cash flow. One is passion, second side is your cash balance. Third, how good are your products? What have you done better than the product? Your product has to be differentiated than other in the market. These are 3 core elements required. Rest is things will fall in place. But if these 3 things are not there in place, your chances of failure is faster. Your cash balance for 2 years, 3 years, I generally say it's minimum. If you can fund your business for 8 years, you'll never do money. If you can stand there 8 years, within 8 years, you would have seen 2 boom bust, you would not see businesses. Some is your effort, some is also nothing your time. Now nobody was signing, right? But in an 8-year horizon, everybody would have seen 2 boom busts. If you can survive 2-3 boom busts, you will succeed. Problem happens, people expect to do a business and they want to get a booms. People are not ready for 2 busts or 2 boom. Unless you're ready to see 2 boom, 2 busts, difficult. 1 bust can make you mad. If you do something right and you become arrogant, you won't be down to earth, right? People become people become down to earth only when the failure starts. My entire life has been a story of failures. To the story of failures are not success. If you cannot make no, you can't succeed. When I was home delivery, I got rejection from everyone. When I was sent to Saudi Arabia, so I got rejection. When I was in London, I got rejection support. So if you know how to handle no, your chances of winning is higher than how many. Can you answer that question?
Yeah.
So cash flow is important, passion is important. How your product is better than that's rest improvement will continuously happen, but there is some edge on the product. If your product is not good, it won't work.
Can I call it passion?
Yeah,
We have so much of passion while addressing all of us here that really it's amazing to see that energy levels. So my question to you is right now with this digital transformation taking place in many entities, many businesses, how does senior people like more about 45, 50, we are still getting into that niche of understanding what digital marketing. So how do we cope up with this change? Because like you said, in internet today, things ideas change overnight. It's 1 year at a time if you are able to succeed in your business. So can you give us some tips about how
to me, digital is another way. But digital is a way. Digital helps you to amplify. I'm not saying because my current business would not succeed if there is no digital. Because I'm into restaurant, I'm into money management, I'm into equity ratings, right? That's what I'm doing, right? It is completely 100% online thing. I can manage the business from anywhere, but I don't need to learn that to that extent, right? Because it's a vehicle. Every business will have it, but that doesn't mean that your brick and mortar won't work, it just won't work. Okay, I cannot say everybody will digital will have sales success rate like a normal business. I am not saying that digital business will have 100% success, not at all. Digital will also have a sales success with every other business, like restaurant 90% failure rate. Restaurant business is 95% failure rate, and 5% 90% failure. Same thing is digital. I am not working that digital. It's an amplifier at a cost. It is not that okay. There are so many startups that come back, but tell me maybe on your. If I know in India, every hour some startup is getting up, right? But only is so success is a different story, and every business is for different purpose. See, most businesses don't, it's like an elephant. Asking the elephant is different, you show different thing, right? Same thing. Don't look at the face, and find what the business model is adding value. Digital to me is just one of the vehicles which amplifies it. Unless your business is completely different. Okay, the point things are changing. Like in simple word, it's a mode of transportation. People earlier days were traveling through a bullock cart or horse ride into car. Now people are doing another level of transportation. This will give you speed. It will give you valuation. So if you are a business with a digital thing, you are because you are every night currently. Right now we are addressing maybe 10, 20, 30. Now because of Zoom, you can reach maybe 1,000 people. Right? So digital helps you amplify. But the core content is still there, right? So depends on the business where the business is, because digital can only help you to amplify it. So if your business is there when you need growth, then digital will be a very good enabler. But that doesn't mean that if your business is business won't survive this one. I hope I'm getting what I'm going to say that here. Digital is growth. Yes, you have competition, you have because at the end of the day, business is nothing but law of fish. You know, law. Anyone knows law of fish? Big fish is only small fish. Business is that. So I may be very good businessman. Okay. But tomorrow somebody will be better now with me. Now we better become the different way. So in my business, what beyond the digital innovation, you will have to get it that it doesn't. Because whatever you are selling, you are going to be a big fish is going to come and eat you, right? So, but that doesn't mean everything is because everything can be outsourced. If you don't know something, everything see our world says that there are so many people, everybody can have something. You always see someone else, right? You can have somebody as a digital ring if you need digital for that. Okay, I'm clear on that? Yeah. Because it doesn't mean that if you don't know something, doesn't mean always see someone. You 1% can never know everything. So you don't really bother about anything. If you think there's a requirement, you can always get some other partner, you can say, you can get someone. In today's time, digital IT is easy to outsource because there are thousands of agencies. It was not the story 5 years down the line. Trust me, next 5 years down the line, you will have so much IT talent available like laborers. Your failure rate is not a disaster. Failure rate is no, you will not know much. You may not be able to catch the bus now. I always you will get a 20 catch the bus. If you miss the bus, you might get it, but you get a faster bus because it's a line of boom bus, boom bus, boom bus. Somebody is going to go up, somebody is going to go down. Who can hold the cycle?
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking time to be with us. And is indeed passion safe. Thank you once again.
Yeah, when the movie called Rocket Sick.
Yeah, it was probably inspired by him.
No, actually, when I was thinking what names should I keep on my company, and it was 4 or 5 times I was meditating it, I was not able to get any name. And I was not able to connect with anything. Suddenly, it passion thing. I just went to online and I saw passion thing domain available. I just took it. So because I know whoever know me will, if I whoever my known circle, I send them and feel passionate. They all say that's perfect of mine. So that's what when you said I was smiling.
Very creative.
Great. We'll play a short video. Oops. Before we have our speaker. Thank you. That's created by our.
More than 50% of those phone calls were not in Dubai. They're in India, they're in Malaysia, they're in Bangalore. Okay.
Today morning, Hong Kong, one of the photographs is the.
So, other than in Dubai, only places in India, they have stuck together. Whenever they travel to any place, they will get together to meet. And whenever we have anyone coming to Dubai, we make it a point to meet. So it's aspect, technically meet as a platform, but if we have visitor coming from our membership, then we always make it a point to have lunch or dinner or a game. So we place forward. Communities. So it's like
Great. We quick move the next speaker. Dear friend of mine, almost 20 years. He's a toaster and a distinguished one at that. He is the CEO of UV Curtains. Join me welcoming VP Menon.
Online.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. We cannot hear anything.
Yeah, we are not able to hear anything.
It really well during COVID. But not everybody. I'm in the training, learning and development business, and my business was very bad with COVID. But then we had to survive. We had to survive. I was very glad to hear from him that 8 years, if you have survived in any business, then the business is strong enough. That's what you said, sir. And it's exactly 8 years since I started the business. Because we started the company in 2015. That's about 8 years. But yeah, you surpassed. So, no, but it's true. Yeah, if you go through those 2-3 cycles of ups and downs, if you survive COVID, I think you can survive it. Yeah. So I was in the corporate world for about 24 years before I quit. That's about 10 years ago, 2030. Yeah, it's exactly 10 years now. And it's been 8 years since we started the company. But here I'm not here to speak about my business. I'm here to speak about humor. So how many of you think that humor is important in life? Yeah, a bit of humor helps. Yeah.
Lots of
Sorry?
Lots of it is required.
How many married people here raise your hand? Because you automatically become humorous. What I'm going to share with you in this little time that we have is how has humor helped me? So what are some of the things that I have benefited with humor? Let's look at some stuff here. I hope this works. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
So I will present over you. That's okay.
Well, I'll click.
There's not too many slides. I didn't want to bore you with many slides. So I try to do that in a few slides.
It'll work now.
Okay, so some of the benefits for us entrepreneurs with reducing humor. One is wrongly consider humor to be a stress buster. For me, it definitely is. Yeah. So whenever I am fully stressed, I try to kind of come up with some humor. And what happens is, it's strange, but the moment you think about humor and you try to find something funny in all that major challenges that whatever you're going through, you automatically start feeling better. You laugh, you smile at it. Maybe you made a major blunder, but then you just laugh it off. Not that you don't take that blunder seriously, you do. But at the same time, when you look at the lighter side of it, it kind of reduces your stress. And it's not a stress buster only for you, because as a leader, when you reduce your own stress, then you are able to manage your people around you, your family members, your office staff, whoever it is, in a better way. Otherwise, with all that stress you go to them, you will make them also stressful. Yeah, poor guys may be having a good day, you'll spoil their day for them. So stress buster not just for you, but also people around you. With your colleagues, with your family. So I have found that how many of you love watching what is it? Kapil Sharma? I was there. I mean, just watching it, and I just took one show's name, but I'm sure there are so many shows that people watch. Laughter shows, comedy shows, comedy movies. It kind of helps us to, kind of forget that stress for a moment, get into a good mood, and then whenever we go back to that challenge, you're able to better manage it. That's all. It's not that the challenge will just vanish from your life. It's still there, but you're able to manage it better. Humor also kind of helps you to bounce back quickly. It makes you more resilient because we all go through challenges. It's not that, like I said, we have a shortage of challenges in whatever we do. But getting stuck there is the problem, is the major problem. But understanding that the challenge has happened, now you should just get up and move away. And that comes when you are when your mindset is a bit humorous, when you look at the legal side of life, then all these problems that happen, okay, you take it in its stride. Okay, let me get up and get going. Yeah. So when I started my first business, I quit the corporate world in 2013, I started a business. For almost, I worked day and night for almost a year and a half to set up that business. Sir, 1.5 years of hard work. And then I realized that it is the super failure. Yeah, I lost all my money. I taken the bank loan, everything gone. Yeah. Now there were two choices: either go back to a job, or brush it off and start again. And I'm very happy I didn't go back to my job. I brushed it off and started again. And that's my business which I've been running for the last 8 years. So he mentioned that you learn a lot from your failures. And I'm a very good example of today when people ask me what makes this business successful, I say forget everything else. Whatever I learned in that 1.5 years of failure is 95% of the learning to make this successful. So again, so humor actually puts you in that mindset where you learn and then you just move forward rather than getting stuck there. Being humorous, having that funny bone, having that mindset of humor also makes you more empathetic towards yourself as well as towards others. You understand? So even when you make a mistake, you brush it off and get going without getting stuck there, like I said. But at the same time, maybe your team members, your colleagues, even when they make a mistake, it's not that you again don't take that problem seriously. You do. But rather than making it a big issue, it's good to kind of find the lighter side of it, laugh it out, and then move forward. Okay, now what is the solution? Yeah, there has been a problem. Yeah, but it's okay, it's happened, what's happened. Now, what is the corrective measure? What is the preventive measure? Put it in place and then get going. I remember a boss of mine in one of the organizations where I worked, Mohammed Meki, he was our operations director. So whenever, and I was in his team. So whenever there was a problem, there was a major problem. Before he came to office, we were all worried. There was a big issue. So he would come and he would sit with us and we would explain, oh, this happened, this is the problem. Blah, blah, blah. The first thing he would say is 2 words: fun time. He'll have a smile on his face. He will say these 2 words, fun time. You know what is the effect of those 2 words and that smile that he had on his face? We would all become calm down. That the boss itself, with these 2 words and the smile, he has calmed us all down. And then we approach the problem. And we discuss, we find solutions, we do whatever needs to be done. But that is what that element of humor that you bring into life on a day-to-day basis. This is how it helps. Whereas I have seen managers and leaders get all faster and angry and screaming and shouting. Nothing happens. Whereas the other side, I've seen the other side of leadership. That's it. Amazing. And also with this element of humor that we have, we are also more optimistic about this. Because we are of that mindset that the problem has happened, but it's not about getting stuck there. Why that problem happened, of course, understand it. But it's also about how do we move forward. So we're looking at solutions. Humor kind of helps us to be more outcome focused rather than getting stuck with the problem itself. So we understand the problem, but we bounce back and we then think, okay, what is it that I want now? And how can I get to what I want? And that's very, very important. As an entrepreneur, bouncing back, changing the mindset from the problem to the solution. And today, in today's digital world and in today's fast-changing world, you have the luxury of too much time to keep thinking about it. That should have to happen quickly. Yeah. Otherwise, it can hurt your business, it can hurt your customer service, and it can hurt so many other things. So getting back on track and thinking about the solutions become easy. Now, this is something very important and very important for an entrepreneur, getting connection. So when you walk into this room, you meet a lot of people. You know what is one of the easiest ways to break ice with people and to build a rapport is a bit of humor. Cracking a joke, or saying something, because people like people who are funny. That's a general trend. We all like people who are funny, who can make us smile. Maybe very simple thing it could be, but something you say and that make that person smile. So if you see this last statement, if you can make them laugh, you can make them listen. The moment you make somebody laugh or smile, they're more than happy to listen to you. Yeah, we don't like people who are very serious. We like people who are kind of chilled out, right? So building a rapport becomes very, very easy. Now I've been a trainer for a long time. Nowadays I don't do a lot of training myself because I'm so busy running the business. But in a training, as a trainer, any trainers here in the room? Yeah, so when you go into a room full of people, most of the time you don't know those people, right? The moment they are in front of you and you enter the room, they're judging you. Okay, who's this guy who's come? Is going to be our trainer today. But my strategy has always been in the first few seconds itself to say something which makes them laugh. And one of the things that I do usually is because I need to introduce myself right in the beginning. So I say I'm VP. My name is VP, short and sweet, as I am. Now everybody will laugh. They don't know me, but the moment I say this, they laugh. They're seeing me, right? And they're connecting it to what I said. But then I continue with it and I say, short you can see, sweet or not, you decide after the training. Because there's another round of laughter. Now with these two rounds of laughter, which is just a few seconds, probably a minute maximum, I've already built a rapport with them. So within the first minute, I have built a rapport with them. If they use of humor, then they are with me the whole day, or probably a couple of days if it's a longer duration program. That's the power of humor. And with us entrepreneurs, it can be used very well to connect with people, to build rapport with people. Even client meetings. It may be the first time you're meeting a client. And if you're able to kind of connect with them with some humor in some way, the bonding happens very fast. Then the person remembers you. And he is more keen to meet you the next time also. Because you've already built a rapport and he's looking forward. And that also makes him do business with you. Because we like, for human beings, we say same is safe. Yeah, we like people who are like us. So if I have somebody who's jovial, who likes to be happy, who don't like very serious people, then if I have a person in front of me who's like me, I connect faster. I feel safe doing business with them. I feel safe discussing things with them. Yeah. So the easiest way to build rapport. Of course, when it comes to managing conflicts, I mean, even when you have as an entrepreneur, you have a lot of negotiations with your vendors, your suppliers, your customers. Sometimes this discussion, the negotiation can take a very serious turn. Yeah, probably there was a commitment that you made, you were not able to fulfill it, the client is angry. But bringing in some humor in that discussion also helps. But you have to be very careful how you bring it in. Yeah, and you can't bring some humor which is not suitable for that occasion, but bringing in something to lighten the atmosphere. Because once the atmosphere, which is like very red, comes down to orange and comes down to green, and then you are able to discuss further. Because when you are in that red zone, where it's very heated up, there's not much that you can do beyond that point. You have to bring the atmosphere to a suitable, situation to communicating creatively and making messages interesting. Now, we all like speakers who are funny. Yeah. Otherwise, we sometimes find some speakers very boring, although they may be saying the most important things in the world. But speakers who can make us laugh, smile during their lecture, during their presentation, we like to listen to it. And this is something I have learned from one of my mentors, from whom I learned a lot of humor, which is CK, one of the close masters who unfortunately died recently. And he was one of my trainers and more of a guru for. So he would always say, so adding some humor into the message. So he does used to do a lot of training, and adding some humor into the messages that you give in a training, in the presentation. What happens is people connect to that message quickly, and they also remember that message for a long time. So I've seen him do this. So he used to do a lot of communication training for senior management. Simple things like, for example, he's telling about the importance of knowledge. Yeah, importance of knowledge. Why knowledge is so important? If you tell the story about a person, a rich landlord driving his car in a village, remote village in India, and the car breaks down. Yeah. And a very expensive car, so he has to get a mechanic to come and repair it. The mechanic comes from a nearby village, in a bicycle, and then he looks at the car and he takes out some tool, and then he gives a tap somewhere, and then he tells the car owner, go and start the car, and he goes and starts the car. So the owner is very surprised. So he says, how much should I pay you for this? He says 1,000 rupees. Indian rupees. 1,000 rupees? I mean, you just came and tapped the car, for that you need 1,000 rupees? He says, yeah, 1 rupee for tapping the car, 999 rupees for knowing where to tap. I mean, the power of knowledge. Now, what happens when you talk about the importance of knowledge? But this example when you give and people laugh, they remember this. There is a very another example. Like if you say we were taking a section on communication for some of the senior leaders, and he speaks about this intent, content, and impact. The intent of the communication, the content that we throw out based on that intent, and what is the impact. Sometimes these doesn't match because our intent and our content don't match. Take this example. Say, imagine you are all students in a classroom, in a school, 5th grade, 6th grade, 2nd grade, whatever. And I'm your teacher teaching you. Now, out here, beside the classroom, there is an open window. And outside that window, there is a tree. In that tree, some monkeys are playing. Yeah. Imagine the situation, you're all students sitting in the classroom, children. Window, tree, monkeys there. Now, where would these children be looking at? At the monkeys play? Yeah. The teacher becomes very angry. The teacher asks the children, why are you looking at the monkey outside when I am here? Now, why did you laugh? Why did you laugh? The teacher is calling himself a monkey. That was not the intent, right? The intent was, hey, why are you looking at the monkeys outside when your teacher is teaching? But the way the content was said, it came out in a different meaning. Correct? So that is where the gap between intent and content. Now, what happens is when people listen to the story, add it with a bit of humor, they remember this. So next time they have a communication to do, they understand that, hey, my content should match my intent. And they're careful in how they prepare the content. Yeah. So once there was, I learned this from CK, and in one of my trainings in supply chain, where I was training a supply chain leadership program. So I said I will use the same story. I said the same story, and they all laughed. Especially there was one lady who laughed a lot. Okay, she loved that example. After the training, one day I was with my family in Dera city center, which is close to my house, and she was also there with her family. Now she came running when she saw me. She said, "Vicky sir, oh, I remember that training and that story that you told about intent content. Now, whenever I see a monkey, I think of you. Now, again, I knew what was the intent. Otherwise, there would have been some
Misunderstanding.
major issue in there. But what was her intent? Did she want to compare me to a monkey? Maybe yes.
Short and sweet.
No, right? She was remembering the training. And what she wanted to say is, whenever I see a monkey, I think of the training and you and all those things, right? But the way it was said, it comes out different. Now, why I'm giving you this example is this is what happens. A lot of time miscommunications happen because of our content doesn't match our intent. And that is why we don't get the right impact. Yeah. Okay. So that is aside, that is communication training. But why I'm telling you this story is whenever you are giving a message, whenever you are pitching your business to somebody, whenever you are doing a presentation, adding a bit of humor and humorous stories into that message helps you a lot in communicating those messages. Well, communicating creatively. Now, when you run a business, marketing plays a big role. Yeah, and in marketing, if you see, if you can be creative with some humor, yeah, depends on your business and depends on your and so many other factors. But I'm just saying, there are some humorous creatives that we see in advertising. They immediately remember it. You will not forget that ad, right? For example, how many of you follow Amul's ads? Very creative, right? Situational on what is happening currently and with a touch of humor in it. When you see it, you don't forget it. You immediately feel attracted. So similarly, your business also, when you do marketing, you can be very creative in using humor in your business. And like I said, if you can make them laugh, of course you can make them listen. Because once they connect with you, then they're willing to listen to you. Yeah? Can we go to the next slide? How many minutes do I have, Gaurav? 5 minutes, okay. Can you just go to the next slide? I hope there is a next slide. I think there is a next slide. Yeah.
That's not working.
Dilbert.
Next. Just click here next.
Next.
Back to basics.
Okay, a few do's and don'ts. I do this humor training as a long duration program. So it's just a few points which I thought would be useful to all of you. Avoid when you are using humor, whether it is in your business or in your personal life, avoid some of the not so cool humor. And there is a cool humor and not so cool humor. Any examples of not so cool humor? Anybody? Very personal, making fun of somebody else. Yeah, that is why nationality, politics, nationality, politics. Hey, Toastmasters who are in Toastmasters take politics, religion, and another thing about nationality and different things like that. Not so cool. Yeah. Again, the type of humor that you use will depend on the situation and the people you are with. In a formal setting, but be careful about the humor because, but in a very close setting, like close friends, close family, you'll break certain barriers and widen the scope of humor there. So self-deprecating humor is always something that works well. So, all of you know what is self-deprecating humor? Making fun of yourself. People love people who make fun of themselves. I can make fun of somebody else. Like, for example, I can make fun of Pragnya. She's a close friend, so I can't do it in at a personal level also. But I'm just saying, if I make fun of Pragnya in this room, you may laugh at what I do, but you will not respect me for what I do. You will laugh because it was funny and I said something funny about it. You will not respect me. People respect people who can make fun of themselves rather than making fun of somebody else. So this is something that works across cultures, works across the world. Everybody, it's a safe humor, self-deprecating humor. But again, you have to be careful what is the context, what is the setting towards the audience and stuff like that. Sarcastic humor is something again that works. Sarcasm. Yeah. But it is a bit on the borderline. It depends on who you use it. For example, within close friends and all, we use a lot of sarcasm. Yeah, I've been married for almost 30 years. So there's a lot of sarcasm that comes from my wife. And I have learned to treat it as humor. That's all.
That's why you're still married.
The secret of my marriage, yeah.
It's a gift. You are not good.
So like I say, I learned the secret of healthy married life long ago in my life. Yeah. So whenever we have an argument, I never give up. Whenever we have a heated argument, me and my wife, she goes her way and I go her way. Yeah. Simple recipe for long-lasting married life. Sometimes we go through challenges, we go through painful periods, we go through a lot of stuff, but these painful periods can be some of your top humor in your life. Because pain that has happened in the past, over a period of time, today you laugh at it. And these stories, the pain that you went through, is today humor for you to share with others. And for yourself, because you look back on this, when it happened, you cried. Yeah, when it happened, you cried. But today, when you look back, you laugh at it. Yeah, so all those stories that you have, the painful stories, over a period of time becomes humor for you. And of course, situational humor, like Amol uses situational humor. As a speaker, you can use situational humor. What you see, what you hear, what you feel within, because there will be something somebody said, something somebody did, and when you pick that up, even in a presentation, when you're doing a presentation, you can always watch, but for that you need to keep your eyes, ears open, yeah, and be aware of what's happening in the room, who's doing what, and something you may pick up from the audience which you can use. This is some of the basic do's and don'ts about humor. Can you quickly go to the next slide, which probably is the last slide? Yeah. So the thing is, as entrepreneurs, as business persons, as we go through the challenges of life, challenges of business, so many serious things to do in life. One of the things to stay calm, stay humorous, stay funny, is not to take yourself too seriously. Yeah, this is the most important thing. The moment you stop taking yourself too seriously, everything else falls into place. I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. If you can tone down, that itself helps a lot. And like I said, you'll have a lot of stories, in your life. You'll have a lot of experience. It's always good to note that because that then becomes a collection of stories for adding humor and whatever. We will not remember it when we want to, so it's always good to note it down and keep a humor file and practice in safe environments. Yeah, so if you're new to humor, if you feel that, hey, I need to develop this skill, and it is a skill which can be developed, practice in safe environment. So what is safe environment? Life. The most dangerous environment. Not at all safe. But don't practice it with your customers, don't practice the right system. Yeah. With your friends, with your close friends, family members, yeah. Except your spouse, of course. Unless your spouse is very sporty and feeling that. How many of you here have heard about Rekha? Which Rekha? Yeah, BP Nandan's Rekha. There's tons of my friends who heard about Rekha, who've seen her pictures in my posts and things like that. They never met her. Yeah, so many times when she comes out to me, or she goes into a mall or somewhere, people say, oh, you're mixed life, right? She's like, yeah. I've seen you, I've heard, I know so much about you. We've never met, but I know so much about you. So, I mean, that's a safe environment for me to practice because my wife is okay with that. So make sure your spouse is okay with that before you. And remember that being happy, being humorous, it doesn't cost you a lot of money. It's free, right? It's just a mindset. The moment you decide that, hey, I want to be like this. Yeah, I want to look at the light side of time. I'm okay to look at the light side of time. Yeah. Then it's just a shift in mindset. And once you make that mindset shift happen, then it's there and you practice it, it's there with you forever. And whenever anything goes wrong, you're okay, things went wrong. You just look at the lighter side of it, learn whatever you want to learn, and keep moving forward. That's it. Instead of getting stuck there, or instead of getting depressed, instead of getting sad, instead of crying over it for days together. Yeah, you quickly bounce back and then you go back to your normal life. Sir, what is next? Green thing is there? Okay, this is a nice quote which I like. I don't know who said this, but these are good lines. It says, "Always find a reason to love. It may not add years to your life, but it will definitely add life to your years." Yeah, life is short, but very powerful. So having that mindset, and especially for entrepreneurs, because being in a job sometimes is a comfort zone for us. Whatever roles we have, responsibilities we have, we do it and that's it. Beyond that, we don't need to think. Yeah, but when you become a business owner, then the entire headache is on you. You're sitting at the top, right? You're responsible for everything. Even if your staff did something wrong because of which a customer is upset, at the end of the day, the customer is going to pull you off of it. So everything, so it's a stressful job. But with this mindset of humor embedded into you, life becomes easier. Yeah, and the quality of whatever life we have becomes better. That's very briefly from me. Within these few minutes, if you have a couple of questions, maybe I can take it.
I would like to add one thing. I know your secret of life because you are, I don't know, you were staying with the celebrities, and your wife name is Rekha, and you're helping hand name was she did. It's a humor.
Yeah. So he knows a few extra things. Which is going friend of mine. And it's very funny because when I was new to Dubai, I came in 99, 23 years back. He also had come around the same time, right? And one day he came knocking on in my office because I was the logistics manager for a company and he was selling services related to logistics. So he came into my office and then, he said, "Oh, I'm from Bombay." I said, "I'm also from Bombay." We spoke a lot and it's been like 23 years. We've not done one business with each other, but we are great friends. After a point, we stopped discussing business.
Still, I use your product and then that reminds sense.
So that's how. So he knows me quite well. And what he's referring to, so I always used to make fun of this. Rekha is my wife. I used to have one of my, distant cousins living with us, taking care of my mom. Her name was Sridevi. So I have Rekha, I have Sridevi, and I used to call my mother Hemamali to complete the circle. So I have Rekha, Sridevi, and Hemamali stay with me. Yeah. Any questions? Anything? It's free. Just like humor is free.
You make it sound very easy, but humor is the toughest thing. Like, especially when your humor falls flat and nobody laughs, then what's your get?
You will laugh at it. Or you will laugh over I feel. So the thing is, don't get a panic attack or a heart attack if your humor doesn't work. Many times my jokes go flat. Even my wife and kids will look the other way. Recently, I put a photo on social media where I said, this is the expression because I heard my own joke. So it can happen, but that's fine. That's life. Not everything you do all the time is successful. We try our best. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's okay. It's just a learning because then you start analyzing, hey, what happened? Why this didn't work? And probably you will do it better the next time. Yeah. So yeah, to answer Alicia's question, it's fine. So if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Yeah.
We think one of the learnings for us today is people work fighting. Yeah, because that's something which struck me. How do you do that? Yeah, because none of us really put down what has happened on paper.
So I'll tell you one easy way I do it is I have a WhatsApp group where I am the only member. Huh? Yeah, earlier, now we can create our own because only, but earlier we didn't have that. No, I used to add my daughter and then remove her. So she would find, oh, my father added me to a group. Immediately after 5 seconds, father removed her from the group. But then she got used to it. So what I do is whenever I remember something, some story, I just record it there. Even if I'm driving, I can always record it. It's there. Whenever you want, you just go there and you can recollect. So you can do it in any way. You can put it into a diary, into your computer, record it, different ways.
My question is, I know humor always will be for your advantage, but then when you are entrepreneur and depending on the kind of employees you have. So don't you think sometimes having so much of humor might backlash you thinking that some of the employees might be very humorous person, he's not serious or something like that. I know you will say that with restricted humor, that's what you might come up with. But don't you think sometimes people might take you lightly, especially your employees, depending on the category?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So what happens is when the boss is humorous, when the boss when the boss is somebody who is not very serious, it makes your team more creative. Because then they're willing to experiment. They're willing to try things differently. Because they know it's a culture where, even if something goes wrong, they understand that the intention behind it was good. Yeah. But where you have a very serious boss, and I've seen serious bosses, the team feels very respected. And they just do what they have been told to do. They will not even try doing something in a different way or something in a better way. So again, to answer your question, you can't be a boss who's always, you can't be a stand-up comedian in the office. Stand-up comedy has its own place where you do it, but being humorous and funny and light-hearted is a mindset, it's a culture that you build in. And I've seen these cultures do better. Yeah, it relaxes people. People, are more creative. People do things differently. Did I answer the question? That is why I say, the kind of humor you use depends on the situation, on the people there. So for example, if you're with a client in a client meeting, and you can't have some stupid jokes there, right? That's not. But at the same time, you can bring in some humor related to the context, the situation, etc. It's about connecting with that person so that, even a small something you say which makes them smile, laugh, or think of something funny, it breaks barriers immediately. Breaks barriers. And then the other next part of the conversation with the client goes smoothly because they already started liking you. They already started building a rapport with that person.
Does anyone want to share any humor that's coming to you?
Something went wrong, something went right.
Everyone can practice because some people they have cat in there.
So this is what. So I was under the impression earlier that only some people can. I can never be funny. This is what I thought. But after coming into Toastmasters, I realized that this is something that anybody can pick up and train themselves. It's a skill set. It's which anybody can develop. Some people develop it fast because they already have some inborn traits within them. And some people may have to struggle a bit, work hard, but they can. Everybody can. And the way people use humor depends on the individual characteristics of that person. So it will be very different. It's not one size fits all. It will be very different. Yeah.
We do one skill I've seen in you that when you make something humorous, you start laughing, and that radiates in the audience, and everyone starts laughing. Is that intentional?
It's not intentional. That's my character. So sometimes I'm the only one who's laughing at my joke. It's contagious. It's contagious. So in a group setting, like, one person laughs, then, there is a ripple effect and other people start laughing. Sometimes few people start laughing and some people, they didn't know what's happening, but since everybody is laughing, I should also laugh. They also start laughing without even knowing what's happening. So that effect is there. As for me laughing at my own joke, yeah, probably not a good thing to do, but very good.
Sometimes after the joke, sometimes after the people start laughing.
Maybe not a question like, can this humor be learned? Because
It can be learned.
It can be.
Yeah. And that is why I said practice in safe environments, Try to do small bits of things. Of course, we don't have time to go into the details, but if any of you wish to connect, then I'm more than happy.
UV consults.
No, I will do it at a personal level, free of cost.
Entrepreneurs Connect.
2.0. Yeah. But to answer your questions, sir, anybody can learn this. Yeah. And Toastmasters is a good forum. I know many of you are Toastmasters. Those of you who are not into it, I would always recommend you be part of it. It's a great forum to learn these skill sets and things. So with that, I thank you and I will.
VP, just one sec. There's a token of appreciation. I'd like our other co-founder Anil to hand this.
I feel so free. After the list was removed. Because it gave you free of charge to all of us. It already started tracking.
Sir, it's my honor to.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Take photo. I'm sure I'll stand together.
One moment. One sec. Thank you. And Alithia, if you could hand over a gift or token of appreciation.
That's why I give the box. It's a timeless calendar.
Yeah. No.
Okay, thank you. Hope I didn't break anything.
The gifts are sponsored by Crystal Gallery.
Amrit, please.
The timeless calendar. You change the date.
Let me get into the picture. I'll take it. We get a group photograph.
Yeah, thank you. Come here.
Science week.
Thank you. Very cheering. So, Raja is timeless.
Yeah. And it's a business. Put on your table. What's your name?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Only that.
How many people actually friends? If you know, like the background is always laughing. It's like it's pretty similar to. So even if you don't get the joke and the Big Bang Theory, again the background is sometimes laughing. You're like, what was the joke?
Great. So now I will have Alithia say a few words for a vote of thanks, and then we'll get into some beverages and food. Yeah, and
After.
as we head out, there'll be a group photograph. Alithia.
It's not like Habibi, like really much. I'm just glad that everyone's come and we hope we take away some inspiration and some to lighten up the mood all the time. And thank you very much, Amrit sir, and forever, and let's all enjoy a good lunch and please don't lose this opportunity to network. Make sure you know everyone that's here, and let's continue. And we welcome you again on Saturday morning, 8 to 9:30 every week. So we'll share an invite on whatever we have your numbers and start after. And we'll do more than we can.
Thank you.
Fun.
For those online, we are putting you in a breakout room. You can network amongst yourself.
Can you hear us?
That's one coming from where did you go? Which step?
Yeah.
Or should we come back? Here only? Okay.
Yeah, before we go into the group photo or session, if everyone could take 30 seconds to introduce themselves, and then we'll continue that conversation while we're wherever they are.
Okay, thank you.
Not anything
So, hi everyone, my name is Firoz Abdullah. I represent a company called Airmaster and Zenzi. Airmaster, we primarily manufacture centralized air conditioning and accessories. Most of you don't know LEDs, is what you see here. We manufacture it. And we make adhesive tapes and insulation materials, polymer and digital boards. And the Zenzi tools. So this is recently they started to add what Passion Singh said. So I do a lot of travel, hikes, trekking and adventure sports. So I'm following my passion and I started an adventure company called Zenzi Adventure Tours. So if anyone of you would like to do any adventure tours, hiking, or any part of the world, please contact me. That's usually all.
My name is Khalid Takri. I've been here in Dubai for the last 26 years, 7 years in South Asia. Originally from Bombay, I experimented in stainless steel, aluminum, brass, copper, steel, plate,
Right. I need a very small company.
Well,
Yeah, I hope as a I go to my website, create that's the job. When I actually know of trying to set up a school or what's the name of the speak the room?
My name is Samir. I'm with wife for a very long time. I used to working at with the shipping company. Now I've worked there for like 20 years. In over 15 years, I've owned my own little freight forwarding company. I'm into that, but on the side, my hobby is to be cars. That is my passion. I started to find it and cars.
I'm getting.
Yoga,
Yeah, yoga.
a brief introduction.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Yoga Jodeshwaran. I'm a tax consultant technological, and our office is nearby, just after the and I also have a group for bikes in the which I have been running since 2011. We meet on second and fourth Wednesday morning, and second Wednesday at a cafe, and fourth Wednesday on Tuesday. And apart from that, I've attended yoga, universal, and people.
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is Willie Viljarana, E&A real estate. I am your dream to find out your dream house in Dubai. So connect with me, for your friends or family, relatives, is going to invest in real estate in Dubai. The land or other real estate. Well, let's take this up.
We write them.
Our host,
Yes. Okay. Not food and beverage, you don't know, no meeting happens, so it's my restaurant, I'm all part of the restaurant. We started around 7 months before, and it's definitely my passion. I'm about here for 30 years. So my focus is in the education, but this is where I can. You can taste my food, then you let me know how you do it. Thank you for inviting me here. My name is Bakul and I'm the founder of R3. R3 stands for repair, renew, reuse. And I started with the purpose of minimizing e-waste. You all are exposed to e-waste. But we don't really recycle it, or we extend the life cycle of it. We repair it, we fix it, we sell it. So I have a shop nearby, it's called R3 factory. You can also find it online. And as I said, I started with the purpose of finding e-waste and creating software. I've been here in business for the last 6 years. Thank you. I'm Srishan, I'm advertising and brand building. I've been concerts, media, work with brands or products, from 360 degree communication. Whether it's designing a photo or designing brand designs, films, digital, everything. Because I've been 20 years ago, takes to work at some companies. So I touched all the industry, all the sectors, like petroleum things or FMCG, retail, hospital, all this. I've done creating work. So personally, I'm an artist. I do paintings, things like that, and getting into film directing also.
great. We've heard from Ronald. Meeting upon the
Yeah, my name is Ronald Oliveira. I am basically into education field. I come from oil and gas industry for 25 years. I've been here for last 21 years, other than the Middle East, Saudi, Bahrain, and UAE. I don't know if you also have quit education after I joined the education field. I don't know. Yeah, we actually help students to have a strong foundation in mathematics, science, and other subjects. We help them to decide the right career path, including study abroad options. And we also help them prepare for the tests like IELTS or SAT or GMAT or something like that. And also, we train children in public speaking. And the latest one to our company, my company's name is Zillion Pathways Coaching Institute. The latest is public speaking and sales closing and things like that using artificial intelligence and virtual reality. That is probably the first time in India and Middle East. So we are launching it very soon with the help of one of the best companies from
My name is Prashant Thaman. I'm in Dubai for the last 25 years. I'm from Bombay, sir. You said Mumbai, which is located in Bharat, should call Bharat. So basically, I'm a partner, 50% partner in one company called One World Shipping. Very good name, One World Shipping. So it's a shipping and logistics firm, and I'm proud to say that 2016 I got a contract of Tesla cars. So I'm also into automotive business. And we have 19 branches all over the world. And Dubai, in Middle East, we have Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Kuwait, Egypt, and Istanbul. And last month we started Colombo. So I love this meeting. You take my contribution next Saturday. I'll be the first person.
I'm Prasad, and Hindi Prasad means offerings related. So I offer my electronic products to all of you who want to buy TV, music systems. So I'll offer it as Prasad because Prasad is. Unfortunately, Prasad is not humor and beauty. It's not free of cost. Prasad comes with the charge. So yeah, I did it for the electronics of the rest of the world, many emerging markets. Been in UAE for the last 31 years. I'm an entrepreneur. I have two businesses, one offline business, which is called UAE International, another online, which just started just to promote my products, my SKUs called DigiCap. And I'm so glad to be here. I've been a part of entrepreneurs only in terms of not physical presence, but in terms of support always. Cannot really be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, whenever I have a time and opportunity, 8 o'clock. So yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, that's too early actually. That's the time for all our personal me time.
8 to 9:30 before the world wakes up.
Mic for you. No mics today.
Okay, my name is Mike, originally from UK. I left before any of you were born. I'm 44 years in here, 28 in Dubai. I've only ever had one job. I ran a maintenance facility in Sheikh Mohammed for 9 years. I'm a growth specialist. I work with entrepreneurs to multi-billion-dollar businesses. I help them identify different strategies that we can implement and help double, triple revenues.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Harish Shah. I'm running one software development company, Frontline Information Technology, for the last 32 years. And next year I'm completing 4 decades in Dubai. So and that's it.
Yeah. The teacher in the,
No, I do everything, not just education. I am a teacher, I do work for the government, but apart from that, many things. I'm also in real estate, doing your properties, but freelance, driven properties, doing your properties. I work for police companies. And then the last thing I do is I'm well connected around the world. So I network really hard, and I really love the network. And what I did during Expo for 2 years, telling you my secrets, by the way. So what I did in Expo for 2 years, I went to work with Indians, said hi to everyone, and all the governments invited to business forum. So I met all the ministers of well connected in Africa. Yeah, so that's a network. And actually through Entrepreneurs Connect, what happened is and Gaurav, I know him from landmark education. So that's how I met Gaurav, and then he introduced me to Entrepreneurs Connect in India. So this very small world. Well, what happened is, I'm a teacher, but then I'm also like well, that question that, why am I here just working one job? Why am I not doing the business? Why am I not doing something else? So that's where the rest of it came. And every time I'm one government to say, what if I need someone to buy property for me? What if I need this? I go to my share commission and look for it. So, thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amit, and I am an ex-banker for 15 years in UAE. I am a CEO of Vidu Technical Commercial Brokers, which is a banking consulting here in UAE. We provide a specialized service related to bank account, opening, business loan, trade facilities, company commission, mortgage financing. So I am like a entertainment doctor. Like when you are doing a startup or a business, you require a service related to my service. So I am here to guide and help from my service. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Pragya. People know me as Peggy. Short, not. Right. So I'm into corporate trainings. I work with retail consultants, acting in corporate division. I'm also a productivity and performance coach, and I make career professionals break free from toxic relationships with you. Wow. Hello everyone, my name is Vinny. I'm born and raised here in UAE, and I have basically two career segments. I own a digital marketing company which is under the name called Green Cherry. And it's just a startup, it's been a year old, and I basically had started and other companies to kind of develop their marketing campaigns and do video marketing, be any form of marketing campaigns. And this particular company is under the group of a marine company which is called Export United Marine Services, which offers shipbuilding, ship repairing, and it also has a ship marine trading part as well. And this is one federal that is added to the group of companies, which is a whole company. Apart from that, I'm also a project manager in the lighting firm. So if anybody has any requirements to have the lighting consultant on board, be it facades, be it interior, be it landscape, please get information. So that's basically that I already.
I'm Nishani. Typical Mumbai girl. And landed in Dubai now 15 years back. So one night I decided to leave my job and start my passion. So I have my own venture now. It's called creating these events. So I started with birthday parties. So now till now I have done for these two corporate events and weddings. So this is what I am doing now. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Anupama from Integrated Communicators. That's my company's name. What we do is we support businesses like yours who do not have an in-house marketing department to manage their marketing function. So anything under the marketing domain, and if you do not have it in-house, we are the people to go to. That's what
Well, my name is Gaurav Paul. I've been in marketing, communication, and a few other domains for the last 35 years. And I've been in Dubai since 1997. That's 26 years. And it's great to be part of this community of Entrepreneurs Connect. Thank you all for making it.
my first event, I did with Gaurav.
He's the best.
He's
the best. So hi, I'm Listen. I'm also another Mumbai girl. There's 3-4 Mumbai guys here. I've been learning here from 2 decades now, 20 years. And I think everything I do is always sales. I've been selling since the age of 16. So I started Bootstrap sales with the intention of helping people sell. Because all your businesses, unless you get a customer that pays right and you make the profits and you've got the right sales strategy on, none of you will be able to hire more people or pay salaries and go home with a happy face, right? So at the end of the day, sales is everything, right? So I started Bootstrap sales with an intention of helping business owners, making sure they never miss another sales goal or target or revenue that they want. And we talked about all of our things. And Entrepreneur Connect has been one of the things that we all started together to let people get new leads. You can do that. So get out of your own current network because 90% of the companies are selling to the same customers in the last 2 to 3
Can't
years.
seem to move
Nobody
into
is
the green.
adding a new customer. So that's when entrepreneur connect is where you can actually get out of your current network. Don't try to sell it just do, but try and explain what
All
you
these
do
guys are there.
and sell their own books. Because all of
They
us
are
here
in this room.
have a lot of
This is where it is happening.
senior level
She's also-
contact list, which could
So
be
they are
potentially your next $1
2, 3,
billion
4,
order.
5,
So
6,
that's
7,
what
7
the
people.
intention is that you
7 participants.
get out of it.
Next. We now get into our group photograph. We step out and then on to food and bits. Just NB, the food is taken care of. If you have any alcoholic beverages, that will be taken.
Then, okay.
Live here.
We'll go live. Wow.
Yes.